So we were invited to work again with EVA International this year on their Young EVA programme, and we worked with 2 different school groups.
Working with kids and engaging with contemporary art and philosophy. EVA is the perfect environment because it's a critical environment as a contemporary art environment. It pushes people to ask questions, so looking at questions like the refugee crisis, looking at the kind of relations that we have between slave ships, coffin ships, the Irish emigration experience and so on.
So today with the children and families and teachers and friends, we're going to be visiting Limerick City Gallery of Art. We're going to be going into the various galleries. We're going to be looking at the different artworks from installation to video to sculpture, and together we're going to kind of have open discussions around the work. So we've been working together over the last 6 weeks, and this is our 7th week today. So really what this morning is about us all going in together to have a look into the gallery, have some activities to explore some of the artworks, some of the ideas. So maybe we just take a minute, because this is all one installation, so there's different parts to this artwork in this space. So we might hear your thoughts in terms of what are you noticing, what have you seen in terms of the artwork in this space?
Fake teeth.
So you've noticed their fake teeth. And what else did we notice in this space?
Washing machine.
A washing machine? A cushion?
A random tree.
A random tree. And did anybody look at this piece here?
Yeah.
And what did we notice?
The teeth are the only bones that show.
So your teeth are the only bones that show, is what it says, yeah? But we do know that the artist when he was in Limerick and he was walking down John Street, he noticed the dentist shop. The dental shop, any of you know it? Yeah. And he had also found bones in his garden, so he's maybe interested in some of those connections that he made.
Kind of like the backstory to it.
The backstory to the work, yeah.
So we were thinking that maybe, just thinking about that idea of bones and skeleton and this notion that these are the only bones that we can see in our body, that we go back to some of those, do you remember those sensory exercises where we feel things and draw them? We touch and we draw. But the experiment this time is to draw your own skeletons. Try and see if you can feel the insides of your body. So you don't have to draw the whole body, but you might want to think about the gaps where you just can't feel or sense a bone as well.
We were also thinking about the notion of, I suppose, ownership and power and what is public and what is private.
And colonialism and its legacies. One of the things
yeah.
that we were interested in looking at this room is the ways in which things are taken. So this artist is interested in colonialism, for instance, so what was once public, what was once for the people, is taken away and made private. So we were thinking about the ways in which, some of you were thinking about water charges, we could think about air, we can think about the land, we can think about things that used to be public that have now become private.
So Ben, what have you noticed?
I'm wondering what they're saying to the...
You're wondering what?
What they're saying to the...
So you're wondering what's happening in this picture, what the conversation is in this painting, this postcard.
What hiding?
Is there hiding?
The story.
Would you say that?
This guy's telling the guy to put it there.
Where to put it?
Yeah.
So they're working for it maybe.
Think of a child in the future, or think of children in the future making a demand. So we want you to write a statement of this child, imagining a child in the future saying, so children of the future, we want a world where. So imagine what kind of a world somebody in 50 years from now might say that they want.
We want a world where there is peace, no violence, where every colour represents happiness.
We want a world where there is equality and more caring.
We want a world where there is no brown clouds. We want an earth like it was in the past.
So did anybody notice anything else in terms of the artwork inside then that we were looking at as well? What things did we point out?
There was a boat.
Refugee boats?
Yeah.
There was a bridge from Africa to Europe,
Okay.
and Europe was kind of green and just like rich kind of, and where Africa is just full with no water and stuff.
So the artist is making reference to some of these differences. After the 1916 rising, after the War of Independence, Ireland lost 25 minutes of time on our clock.
If you could get 25 minutes back at any time
In your life.
imagine what you'd do with it.
grandchildren, the children's.
What would you say before you spend time for your grandchildren? Lovely. Yeah. So you keep your time for the future.
I just wanted to go back to 2014.
You want to go back to 2014? So you want to save 25 minutes in 2014? That was a good year for you.
If I made a mistake in 25 minutes.
Okay, so you just hold it like a trump card. What else do we see?
Ship. There's a lot of like ships and water based around
Maybe
here.
about like immigration.
Yeah, so maybe it's back to like the piece we saw upstairs, right?
Yeah.
Which is looking at kind of immigration and migration and refugees.
So a few weeks ago, we were chatting with the kids and saying that we were going to do philosophical inquiry and look at education in school. And one of the girls said that she asked, why were schools invented? What were they invented for?
Yeah.
And in a way that was our stimulus for thinking about what is education for and what are schools for and what do we hope for? We spent a lot of time looking at questions of power and getting them to kind of map who has power and who doesn't have power, but also to describe their vision of the school that they would like, so writing a manifesto.
The school I would like is full of different people and from different countries.
A school for every nationality, a school with equal rights for students and teachers.
The school I would like would be a place where everyone is happy, children enjoy learning, fun, safe, everyone does their best.
So 2 years ago you guys gave us a brief for a performance, right? Do you remember? You gave us lots of ideas for an artist to make an artwork that became a performance in a song. So this year we've asked the class to come up with or to respond to artworks that they've seen in EVA.
Birds flying in the sky. Blue clouds, dark clouds, rainy days, dark weather. Weird birds flying backwards forwards. Swallows immigrating Africa.
The clouds are coming.
I know this because I can hear the thunder.
The sun is slowly disappearing.
I can see the lightning in the mist. I find myself breathing.
No movement, no heartbeat was found in the streets.
I'm now safe in bed asleep.
Feel disgusted, sick, horrible, weird, not normal, scared, is it art, cool, fashion, Lady Gaga, sad, trapped, alone.
It was a moment of hope at the vision of these children.
And I think working with the children, what always amazes me is that they'll always notice something, say something, see something, think of something that I haven't even considered.
So in a way it's the encounter with contemporary art, but it's also for me about showing the possibilities of education and showing what's of value and helping teachers notice sometimes these really significant moments of connection that children make or the moments in which they have voice.